We're back on another episode of Since We Talking. Here we are again with your host, Valerie Campbell, and we got...
Your boy Andrew, Malletboy Robinson. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Man, how we doing, cuz?
All right, what's going on, cuz? Locked in. First take, you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
First
sir.
take,
you
you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Here. So, man, look, here we are on Since We Talking. You know how we do this. I got the questions for us, and we're going to let our man Drew, he going to answer these questions for us, and we're going to get our conversations jumping. So, before we get started, it's up to you how you want to do it. You want to take a little test the waters first, or you want to jump straight in?
I think we could jump straight in. You know what I'm saying?
Jump straight
Let's
in,
jump straight
man. We're going to get right into these questions then. I love it. That's what everybody answers too. They ready to just jump straight into the conversation.
It's my first podcast ever. Let's go.
Yes, sir. And so, man, my first question for us is, so if you were to describe your life right now like a journey, if you were to describe where you're at on your life journey right now as a book, what part of the book would you say that you are in?
Man, I'm still in chapter 3, bro.
Chapter 3?
Yeah, I think I'm still in chapter 3, bro. Simply because I say chapter 3, simply because the first chapter, you know, childhood, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And then chapter 2 was adolescent, young adulthood. And chapter 3 is where I'm at now, which is kind of like semi-adulthood / you know, making, you know, progress in life. So I just say chapter 3. It's always early, man. Because, you know, everybody be like, oh, it's never too late. But then it's never too early neither, you know what I'm saying? I say like chapter 3 of a I don't even know how many chapters I got, but we still in the midst of writing it. You know what I'm saying?
We still in the midst of writing the book. I like that for sure, man.
First 2 chapters already done. We own chapter 3 right now.
So you got long chapters, or how your chapters are set up?
Man, these chapters long, man.
These
chapters long. This the longest chapter right here. This the longest chapter right here, man.
I like that though, man.
It's volume 1, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, we only in volume 1 of chapter 3 too. Listen, man, I like that.
Bro.
I like that volume 1. I like that volume 1. We're gonna get into some other stuff. We're gonna talk about them old chapters too. So we're gonna get into like about the past and your future. We're gonna try and get into dissecting where we at. Let's do it. Since we was talking about already like your chapters, your chapter 1 and chapter 2, we want to talk about early times in the Drew Hood. So
early times in Drew Hood is crazy.
Yes, sir, man. We want to talk about because we know, as many of y'all might not know, he said Malletboy. And if you don't know about Malletboy, that's for mallet percussion.
Yes,
and you know the mallet percussion, we got the marimba, the vibraphones, the xylophones. We got the I always forget what the other one is.
The Glockenspiel.
The Glockenspiel.
You know what I'm saying? We got the chimes.
There you go.
We got the timpani, you know what I'm saying? Pretty much anything I can hit, I can play it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And so I want to dive into a little bit of your musical instrumental background. So yeah, man. So where'd you start off at when you were playing your instruments?
Grandma's Pots and Pans. That's not a store. That's actually Grandma's Pots and Pans. Yeah, it was, because I don't even remember this, but my mom always used to say that I used to go over Grandma's house. And I'm saying Grandma because we cousins. But like, yeah, I used to go over Grandma's house, and I used to pull her pots and pans from under the sink. And I used to take some spoons. I used to just hit them, and I was getting on Grandma's nerves. so she bought me this little drum. It was like, I remember the color. It was red, blue, and yellow, and they had little drumsticks, but I always used to lose the drumsticks. So I used to cry. And I used to holler. They used to give me like pens and pencils. I used to throw them because I didn't want them. And so then they put a piece of yarn on the stick so I could never lose it, because I used to just put them down and then just run off and do whatever. But yeah, I've been playing. Really, I started with drums. I've been playing since I was 7-ish. Really started playing at church when I was like 9 or 10. Then played with my dad, because my dad was always the minister of music at whatever church we was at. So, built my reputation with him. Then when I got to middle school, actually, is when I started like getting introduced to like the xylophone and all the other stuff. And then my band director in middle school, I went to middle school in Columbus, Georgia, and he was like, "Man, you got a gift," because I was the only one everybody else wanted to be like drumline, you know what I'm saying? Play the snare, play the bass, be on the drum line. He was like, "Nah, you need to stay with that xylophone." And I started taking piano classes too. Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Sir.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I started doing Mary Had a Little Lamb, and that went on to high school. Then I moved back up here, and then I started going to Hazelwood West, and then when I got to high school, I wanted to be on the drum line. I ain't gonna lie, and I was like, "Man, I want to be on the drum line. I want to play the quints." Didn't know how heavy they were. didn't know how heavy they were until they strapped me up to some, and I was like, I don't think that's for me.
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden they say you got to read this music. I said, they got music they got to read? Nah. And so then it was like, well, you still got talent. You still got to give, because I had to audition because, I don't know, it's high school, whatever. And so they was like, nah, you could be in the pit. I was like, what is the pit, man? That's lame, bro. They don't get no bitches, bro. Like, they don't get no hoes, man. And so then I was like, and then my mom was like, nah, you need to do something, because this is what's crazy. I'm actually coming back to what my mama said. My mom was like, nah, son, you don't even know if you like it or not. You don't even know if you're going to be a success at this. So then I started playing the vibraphone and got into that, and that's where I picked up my speed. And, I kind of only really had 1 year to actually learn it. And then after I left Hazelwood West, I went to Normandy. Saw they had a marimba and the vibraphone. I started playing it. And then people was like, oh, my God, you got to get. They wanted to recruit me for drum corps. I was like, I don't want to do that. Yeah, and then there was my ex at the time, or not even an ex at the time, like this girl that ended up liking me or whatever. The nickname Malletboy came from her because she didn't know my name. I have a simple name, Andrew, and she didn't know it. And she was like, can I just call you Malletboy? I was like, sure, and the name stuck. So it was just like, hence where it came from. So yeah, but yeah, after that, I pretty much just kept up with, marimba and drums and singing and all that other stuff. Yeah, we're gonna get to singing a little bit too. Oh yeah, we're gonna wait for that then. I ain't gonna jump ahead, you know what I'm saying? Hey, man, music has been like a mainstay in my life, you know what I'm saying? Like Malice was just something that I didn't think was gonna really pick up, but then all of a sudden when I, play my marimba and stuff, and people were like, oh my God, what is that? They be like, it's a xylophone. I'm like, nah, get it right. Like, get it right. But nah, it's definitely an experience though. So it's not something that I regret. And my mom, she told me recently, that's why I said I'm coming back to what she said. She was like, I didn't know how that was gonna work out when you went to high school. And I said, you don't even know you could be a success one day. She said, I didn't know how it was gonna go. Yeah, so I just said something. It's funny how parents wait till adulthood to start telling you the truth. That's crazy, man. But yeah, that's pretty much how Malletboy was born. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
All through not knowing Andrew.
Right, bro. All through not knowing my name. That's where Malletboy came from.
Okay,
so
man,
yeah.
But that is dope, man. So look, before we get into the singing, want to ask another one of the questions, one of my main questions, and it is, how would you define purpose?
Having something to do.
Having something to do?
Yeah, even if it's nothing, then nothing is your purpose. You know what I'm saying? If it's something, then something is your purpose. But I feel like purpose is all based on the person's life and how they see their life going. Like, yeah, you could say, I can have a purpose to do this or a purpose to do that, but purpose is really based on you and what your self-worth and like what your happiness level is. You know what I'm saying? If your purpose is making you happy, excuse me, then keep doing that. But if your purpose ain't making you happy, I ain't gonna say keep going, but it's all based on the person. Like I said,
would you consider it your purpose if you're saying that it's not making you happy? If it's something that's not giving you that inner joy, would it still be considered your purpose?
Yeah, nah. Yeah, nah. If it ain't making you happy, man, like that's the thing about life. Like if something ain't making you happy, bro, you don't gotta force yourself to keep doing it. You just don't. Like that's what a lot of people got an issue with, or a lot of people do, is they try to make their purpose the source of their happiness, and it's like you don't have to do that. Cause then too, even like with passion, like my passion is music, but this year I decided to take a break from like actually making music. I'm like featuring on other people's stuff and performing and stuff. But as far as I've been making music or at least recording and engineering and doing all that for the last like 5 years. But I'm like, it's always good to like kind of step back and just try to reevaluate some stuff. Cause then if your purpose is like saying, I want to be a figure skater or whatever, but you got 2 left feet with racing with skates, man. It's just like I don't think that's for you, bro. But hey, but it's all. I think it's all depending on the purpose. Depending on the person though. Yeah, because it's you can say, oh man, I got a purpose. I got to do this. I got to be on this podcast. I got to do this. I got to do this. I got to do this. Then all of a sudden you kind of lose yourself in the shuffle of your own thoughts. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, do you make sure you happy with it, and if that's your purpose is to just live life and be happy, then that's it.
I like that though. And so the thing I would compare purpose with is your passion. And so how would you differentiate and separate between a purpose and a passion?
Passion is something you love. Purpose is something you got to do. But nah, passion is just, if you know you got it and you know you have a gift, then use it. But does it have to be your purpose? No, because sometimes people can think purposes are jobs, or like, I'm obligated to do this because this is what I am or whatever. But when you start mixing the two, your passion is gonna get lost, and then you're gonna be like, man, I really don't want to do this, or it's feeling like an obligation, or it's feeling like I have to do it instead of me just wanting to do it. Hence why, like, for example, with my music, that's my passion, but I don't do it so much to where I'm like, man, it's a job, and then I start hating it, and then I'll be like, I gotta find something else to do, yada yada yada. So I don't. With passion is something that you just love to do, that you got a gift for, that you got a niche for. A purpose is more like, this is what I'm meant to do. You know what I'm saying? Instead of something that I want to do. I mean, granted, they could be the same, but it's just, sometimes people, they'll get it mixed up, and then all of a sudden it'll just be like all kinds of convoluted and messy.
Trying to force that passion to be a purpose,
Yeah, that's trash. Trying to force a square into a circle. Don't do that. Don't do that, man.
Yes, sir, man. That makes perfect sense too. All right, and so when we're going along with that passion and purpose, that's why I wanted to bring back to the singing and kind of how the singing how it came into fruition. So you already started with the instruments, the drums, the mallet percussion, the Malletboy. So where did the singing come in involved with that?
Singing came in, I think I was like 9. And my sister Ashley, shout out Ashley, Sister Ashley taught me how to sing. The first song I learned how to sing was Amazing Grace. Hence why I still basically sing. I'm a PK. I grew up in church. But yeah.
We're going to get there.
Yeah, we got that. All right, cool. I'm jumping ahead, my bad. Scoot back. You know what I'm saying? Scoot back just a little bit.
Just know that you
yeah. All right, man. So, yeah, she taught me how to sing Amazing Grace. And then I just kind of stuck with it because I'm like, man. Because, look, young boys, we always like, man, I want the girls, man. And so I'm like, man, girls love singing. Boom. But then, I had to change, my whole mentality of it is just like, you singing in church, bro. You trying to get girls in church. What you doing? So, so after that, I pretty much was just singing in church, whatever. Who's texting me? Doesn't matter. But I just kept singing in church, and then years and years went by. And I think I was more into instruments than I was like singing, because I was taking instruments more serious than singing. Yeah. Granted, I could sing, but it was kind of like, it's a secondary thing, whatever. And then I think where I really got inspired to actually just keep going is when I got to high school, and I joined the choir. I think my senior year. I think I joined the choir, and then my choir director. Dr. Dwayne Foster. He gave me this song to sing, and it was called "Ain't He Bless My Soul," and everybody just lost their mind when I sung it. And so then after that, I was like, if I can touch somebody through my music, whether it be playing or singing or whatever, then I'll be glad to do it. And then after high school, I got to see more singers and be performing with different people and doing different genres. That's why I kind of just picked up on, man, I can sing more. And I can kind of balance out playing and singing. Yep. And now I see myself singing more than I'm playing. So it's kind of like, it kind of made a little inverse, you know what I'm saying? So it was, it's singing is good. Singing is fun. And, then now, I kind of, after I, was trucking and everything, I really couldn't perform like I wanted to, because, trucking is unpredictable, yada, yada. And so then when I stopped, I had a friend of mine from high school, Lord, shout out Lord. He had texted me one day, because I was like, man, I just got done with trucking, and the business went under, yada yada yada. And I was like, man, I really need something to do. And prayed to God and was like, I need something, anything. I want to start, actually trying to either get my music out there, start performing places, yada yada. Because I was trucking for 5 years, so that's 5 years of me just driving, coming home, sleeping, going back on the road, driving. And then he texted me and was like, hey, you want to sing in a play? I was like, sure, I'll sing in a play as long as I ain't got to act, because my acting skills ain't, I said, I'll be forgetting songs that I just learned on stage, even though I rehearsed them for a month, bro. It's bad. And so he was like, that's where I got involved with the St. Louis Story Stitchers and Brandon and Blue, SK and all them. And then now I'm featuring on one of Brandon's songs and stuff. So it's just been networking and moving. And I'm just like, man, if y'all don't believe God is real, he listening to y'all, bro. Like for real. But yeah, man, that's pretty much how Singing went. I know it was all over the place, but yeah.
No, it was right there. It was right there. It was alignment for real. Like that's what I was getting from it was the singing. It started off as something that you did with your family. Your sister got you in there first, and it was like high school. And you was like, hold on, I can sing a little bit. Right. So I see how it was aligned. It was a whole story. It was the journey. It was really the journey for the singing. I like that for real.
That's part of chapter 1-ish. Yes, sir.
Man, all right. And so then the next question, since we're already talking about it, we'll go. So the next question I got is, this question I already know the answer for because you already let us know too. But do you believe in a higher power?
Man, yeah, man, God,
man.
Big G-O-D, the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. They say Holy Spirit, but down south they say Holy Ghost. But yeah, man, I believe in God wholeheartedly, man. And can't nobody, and I don't care. Like I know everybody got their own, belief systems and stuff. It ain't my job to tell you what to believe, what not to believe, yada yada yada. But can't nobody tell me that God is not real. Simply because testimony time. I'm gonna make it real quick. When I was trucking, I was working for J.B. Hunt and Anheuser-Busch, yada yada yada, and I was home daily, yada yada. And so it was this one day I was going down the road to I can't remember where I was going. I was going down the road. I was on the highway and stuff, and then I heard my air leaking, and so air in the truck, you ain't got no air, your brakes are gonna lock up. So if your air is constantly flowing, you can once your air is flowing, your brakes release, and when your air stops flowing, the brakes lock up. So that's pretty much how it works. So then I was rolling, and I kept hearing this hissing noise. Now I'm like 20 miles away from a Love's, which is truck stop, whatever. And so I'm like, I'm 20 miles away from a Love's, and I'm still rolling, still hearing this hissing. And I'm like, I'm looking at my gauges. My gauges are going down and up and down, up and down. Usually, when the air maxes out, it does that little psh sound, and then it goes down, then it goes back up. That's the governor. Whatever. I'm explaining trucking. So then I get to the Love's, and then I had to call a mechanic because I'm like, I can't move because now my brakes locked up when I finally parked. You know what I'm saying? So I done went 20 miles from where I started hearing the hissing all the way to the Love's. Mechanic gets there. He shows me what happened. My airline was split in half right when I stopped. And I was like, he was like, I don't know how you made it from where you said where you were to right here. I was like, he was like, man, you lucky. I said, nah, that's nobody but God, bro. And I still got the picture to this day. And that was like the moment where I was just like, because I was, sometimes I'd be like, oh yeah, God is real. And then sometimes I'd be having like, my little human, little stuff or, earthly stuff. And just like, nah, man, that's luck. Nah, when I say my airline was like it was destroyed. But I drove 20 miles to the next truck stop. Yeah, that was it. I was like, I'm locked in now. Me and God like this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And so the question I would ask with that is that your view of religion. Another person on the podcast, Khalil, he said that it wasn't a religion but more a relationship. So how would you describe your religion or your relationship that you have with God?
Our relationship. Sometimes I be so comfortable, I start cussing. I be like, "Oh, I need to stop that." Like, but nah, like the relationship, religion is an interesting thing because religion is more like this is what you need to do, and the foundation of what you need and what you had to do, yada yada. But a relationship is more of like, I talk to you, you talk to me, you help me. I can't help God, but it's like I can talk to you and you give me comfort type stuff, or I can come to you in my time of need, or even when I'm high, when I'm low, when I'm whatever. But relationship is more of a comfort. Religion is more of like practice. You know what I'm saying? And then a lot of people kind of get religion and relationship mixed up. They be like, oh yeah, you have to do this or you have to do this a certain way. And it's like with me, I'm like, live your life, but live it. And it's just for me. It's not for everybody, for whatever y'all believe. Live your life to how God wants you to live it. That don't mean you gotta be Mr. Perfect or Miss Perfect, or you gonna mess up. You gonna fuck up all the time. That's just I fucked up early today. Like it's cool, but you gonna mess up, man. And it's okay to mess up, but don't just think you got a free pass and just keep on, keep it on. Like you got to just try to make those steady improvements as life goes on. Like they say, you live and you learn. Yeah. But if you living, you ain't really learning.
Are you living?
Right. Like, right, man. Are you really living, bro? Like, so it's just like, you live and you learn and grind, and mistakes gonna happen. even if it's the same mistakes over and over again. Like that's just how it is. Like I had a struggle like in life way back, but now I finally got, more under control and stuff like that. And so now I'm like, I lived and I learned through that. And so through that, now I know how not to be or how to be in certain situations. Mm-hmm. So it's like with your relationship, like my relationship with God, like I always, go ask for forgiveness, ask him what I need to do, ask him like, yo, I need, like the story stitcher thing. I was like, I need something to do. Like that's where I feel like I'm at in life. So I need you to like open the door. And once he open it, you better walk through it. Because once it's closed, that's it.
That's one door closed.
Yeah, man. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much it.
I like that, man. And so, the question, the kind of culmination of it is, how do you have, with your view on religion, your relationship with God, how does it help you with like your purpose and your passion in the music, or like helping you move with those things?
That is a beautiful question. I always keep God first. Granted, I'm not always singing gospel music, but they always be like, "Oh yeah, try to, you gotta worship God in everything you do," and it's just like, I give him the thanks because, he gave me a gift, a lot of gifts, honestly, and it's just like I have to say, man, like, as quickly as he gave me, as quickly as he could take him away. So I'm like, I always thank him every time, and I always like, I always pray before I go perform somewhere, no matter if it's like, like secular music, gospel music, it don't matter, because anything, subject to happening tomorrow, not promised. Right. So with God by my side, I feel like my passion is easier than, me just trying to figure it out on my own, or me just trying to, say, oh man, I'm trying to learn how to sing better and trying to learn how to do these runs. How can I do it? Blah, blah, blah. And it's more of a comfort to say I can be passionate about something and not feel judged for it. You know what I'm saying? Or I can have a purpose to, sing like my mom just said, because I left church for like a little minute because I just needed, life was just, and so I was like, I need like a break from just church. And my whole life was just church. But I'm like, I don't want, like, I wanted to be my life, but it was like at the time I was like, I didn't know what I needed. You know what I'm saying? So I needed to back away for a minute. And even when I came back, I wasn't playing, I wasn't singing. I was just kind of trying to be a member because I was already playing at a church for 5 years or whatever. And I'm just like, I need to, actually not even 5 years. I've been playing at church all my life, so I never really got to be a part of the congregation. You know what I'm saying? So I got to be a part of the congregation. And now I'm at First Baptist Church Greek Corps, and now I'm the sound man, I'm the substitute drummer, and I'm in the choir. My mom was like, yeah, your vacation over with. So yeah, and it's just, I guess like with my passion and my purpose is, making people happy and feel good with, either me singing, playing, doing the sound, or whatever the case may be. And I love it. And then sometimes your purpose can be different from your passion, but mine is just like this. And I don't ever feel obligated because, I can take a step back if I want to. I don't have to just be like, Michael Jackson. He was like, I hate touring. Like, I ain't got to be like, I got to constantly be on the move. Like, if I want to take a break from music, I can take a break. This is what I'm doing this year. I'm just featuring on stuff, collabing with people, performing, and doing whatever. But, yeah, with my religion, as long as I got God with me, bro, I feel like I'm the best singer on the planet.
There you go, man.
I'm about an intermediate, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah.
I like that, man. And so, still going along with like that passion and that purpose, looking towards the future, where do you see your passion and purpose taking you? Like, you got that vision of where you trying to go with it?
Man, I lost that vision 10 years ago. Yeah, I had a conversation with a millionaire or whatever. She was like, because I had, back when I first started doing like, music and stuff, I used to do those little collage videos where it's like, 4 or 5 of me and singing and doing all the harmonies and stuff. And I said I wanted to be a professional YouTuber. And I was like, man, I want to get monetizations, advertisements, all this. I want to be like, I want to be as big as like, Dashy or something like that, even though he was gaming. But I was like, man, I want to be big. I want to have millions of subscribers. People saying, oh yeah, I want to be like him, or I like this song, yada yada. And then she said, well, how are you gonna make money from it? I had no answer, like at all, because I was just like, I just want to be big on YouTube. That was it. So now I think even with that conversation, it was like, that goes back to what I meant, like, by obligation. I was like, yeah, I would love to make money from my music, which I do, but I don't make like, enough to live on. But it's like, I don't want it to feel like a job. So in the future, with where I see myself going is more kind of sort of doing the same thing, but on a bigger stage. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm doing St. Louis stuff, and I really do appreciate everybody that listens to me. But yeah, like I'm now more performing on like, small stages. Shoot, every stage is big to me, but like, small stages and church and stuff like that. And I'm kind of just like me. I'm kind of more laid back than anything, so I'm kind of just like, I'm not really like out there, even though I need to be. But like I'm more like, kind of laid back and like, you need me, call me. You know what I'm saying? That's what I told Brandon and everybody at Story City, man. I said, y'all need me, bro, just call me. I said, I'm an Uber driver, bro. I literally can make my own schedule if I want to. So I said, y'all need me to, sing something, come down to the center, whatever. Y'all need me to record something, perform somewhere. Just call me. I'm pretty much not doing nothing. So yeah, but in the future, I hope that I can be bigger and have more people, listen to it, and people walk up to me and be like, "Oh man, I know you from, you Malletboy, you this and you that," and it's just seeing people happy and smiling and doing all the other stuff. So that's where I see me. It's just me being light to people.
I like that.
Yeah.
And the monetization, you kind of talked about it in there though, when you were saying you want the sponsorships and the views, like. That's where the monetization come in from right there. It's the sponsorships and the views. So if you still making those videos and you getting the people that want to like have you make songs and stuff, like making jingles, that's really where the money be coming from too. Like you get a jingle for a commercial or something, get an ad,
yes sir,
get a little theme song here or there. You never know, man.
Yes sir. Like me and my homeboy Marquise, we working on something. Can't tell you what it is because it's one of his. It's one of
keep that low key.
I'm just saying. it's one of the things we working on, and he wanted me to do the music for it, and so he wanted me to make like themes for each person and stuff. I'm just like, dang, bro, this mother kind of cold. I ain't gonna lie to you, because like at first, and then even with I got into beat making kind of like probably a year ago, and I was just like, me, I was real stubborn. I was a musician. I was like, man, I want to play all my own music, but then all of a sudden I was like, dang.
That's gonna be
I'm not really a piano player, bro. And I was like, I could be like, I could put the malice in there, but I'm like, I need more stuff. And then my dad was like, there's loops on Logic, right? Yep. I said, loops? I ain't gonna use no loops. Took me 2 years to start doing it. So like half my songs now, like, they pretty much loops, but I can still, sing over them and add something if I want to, or whatever. But even like, with beat making, it's just me enhancing my craft, you know what I'm saying? Because I was like, man, beat making is for rappers. And I'm not no rapper. I respect all the rappers because I can't do what y'all do. You know what I'm saying? Cause, yeah. But I was like, man, beat makers for rappers, man. I ain't got to do all that. I'm a singer. I need actual music. You know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden I was like, dang, these loops are actual music, bro. That's crazy. So yeah. But yeah, like the jingles, man. I definitely see myself either getting monetized for like a commercial or like an ad or whatever the case may be. And if I can, I can. If I can't, I'm still happy with what I got. So yeah, I'm content.
All right, man, we almost getting ready to wrap it up. I got like 2 more questions for us. So one of the big questions that I got for us is, how would you describe self-transformation? Like as you're going throughout your journey. So you say you're on chapter 3 right now. So chapter 1 and chapter 2, you done been through some things. And how would you describe that self-transformation for you?
Self-transformation, it's crazy when it actually happens. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, I could have been doing this, and now that I'm doing it, it feels like life is getting way smoother. You know what I'm saying? So life transformation is more like, for me at least, it's like you were doing something for so long, and then when you stop, you realize how much you either missed or how much of life could have been a little better if you didn't do something. You know what I'm saying? So it's not more like, oh, you're doing more, so you're transforming more. Sometimes it's taken away, and it's just like you feel fuller than what you do. I don't even know if fuller is a word. But like, it's a word today. Like, but yeah, like you feel.
We gonna talk it.
Right.
We understand.
Right. Since we talking, you know what I'm saying? Like,
we understand.
Yeah, we understand it. Y'all gonna understand it one of these days. Like, but nah, like you feel, if you take, like sometimes, it's adding more that can make you feel full, and sometimes it's taking away that can make you feel full. Yeah. So like even with me, like in chapter 2, I can say like after grandma passed, I kind of went into like this downward spiral and stuff, and I was just doing stuff because I'm just like, man, I gotta numb the pain. And then all of a sudden when I got done the same way I was doing people, I was like, oh, this ain't cool, man. This trash. Like, but yeah, like I had to really step back and do some self-reflection and stuff. And I'm just like, that's not how I should be toward people. Because I'm usually a nice person until somebody makes me mad, Yeah. No, but yeah, I was just doing that. I was just doing things just like, numb the pain, do all this other stuff. But then all of a sudden when I actually took a step back, started praying more, started getting more, into the word and stuff, and actually started listening to people and started listening to God and people that, already pretty much been through similar stuff that I've been through or whatever. And then I was just like, wow, it was an eye-opening experience. And now I know how to, control certain aspects of my life, do stuff, not do stuff, have more discernment in certain situations. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I don't forgot the question now. Shoot.
Self-transformation.
Yeah. All right, man. Self-transformation. Yeah, back on that.
You was cooking with it.
But yeah.
Learning what you need more of, or you step back and you was like, I still need that, or you step back and you're like, don't need that.
Yeah, I don't need that no more, man. Like, yeah, so it was definitely eye-opening. And then when I felt like I had more control over the situation, I was just like, wow, my life feels better, or feel like it's going in a better direction, or even a brighter direction than what it was while I was in the dark place or whatever, because I felt like I needed something to just fill the gap, but really, I needed to take away to fill the gap. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you take something away, sometimes it heals, man. It's like a wound. A wound is open, but it'll naturally close sometimes if you take some shit away. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like you get stabbed in your leg, you take it away, it's still gonna close. It might be slow though, but it's gonna close eventually, man.
Slow to heal, but it's gonna heal.
Yeah.
There you go.
Scars aren't forever. Yes, they are. But yeah, man, that's how I define self-transformation, man. Sometimes you gotta give, sometimes you gotta take. Okay. So yeah, as long as you growing, at the end of the day, yeah.
The day going.
Yeah.
All right, man. And then the last question I got for us, if you could give the people one quote or one mantra that you just live by, that you just take with you on day to day, what's that quote?
Something my father gave me. But think before you react. And actually, I got it tatted on my arm right now. It's from Mass Effect 2, my favorite video game of all time. Shout out Mass Effect. You know what I'm saying? I got it tatted on my arm. I don't even know if y'all can zoom in on that. You know what I'm saying? Got the Renegade and the Paragon on there. It says, "I won't let fear compromise who I am." So I could be scared. I could be afraid. It's natural to be scared and afraid, man. But don't let fear change who you are. Let it change how you make decisions. Let it change how you live your life, man. Because life is just a leap of faith, bro. All you got to do is just jump. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you don't know where you're going to land. Sometimes you jump, and you just going to keep on falling. Keep on falling. But there's land somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's the ocean, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, just don't. That's pretty much what I live by. Is, I won't let fear compromise who I am, man. And then even with this tattoo, all my tattoos got meaning. I don't care. But even with this one, it's a chest piece, man. Like it's the king. And so the king is the weakest piece, right? I ain't saying I'm weak, but sometimes I can be. But the king is only as strong as the people he surrounds himself with. Surround yourself with people that can hold you up and build your kingdom, man. Don't. Yeah, you can be the weakest piece at times, but sometimes you gotta have a queen. I got my queen already. But yeah, sometimes you need a queen, sometimes you need a knight, sometimes you need a rook, sometimes you even need the pawns, man. Sometimes you need a bishop, you know what I'm saying? But you're the king in your own story. But definitely surround yourself with people that are gonna help your kingdom thrive, man. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And then this one, not just one, I'm done.
Hey, you got another one, bro.
I got four of them.
Go ahead, show them all, show the tab.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? 7 deadly sins, you know what I'm saying? That's the lust sin, even though I hate the character, but that's the thing I struggle with, you know what I'm saying? But it's cool. It's done now. And then we got fairy tale, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's pretty much it. I need some more, though, but we're going to wait on that.
I don't know the fairy tale, though. I know the 7 deadly sins, though, and I knew chess. And I knew Mass Effect.
Let's go.
I ain't know fairy tale though.
Ah, yeah. See, you gotta get hit, man. You gotta get hit, bro. Fairy tale goated, man. The internet making y'all hate fairy tale, and I don't like that. Like, watch the show.
Go ahead, tell them again.
Watch the show. The internet is making y'all hate fairy tale.
Go ahead, let them know why they should watch fairy tale.
But it's goated. It's goated. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Go to the show, man.
All right, man. Hey, them all the questions I got for you, bro.
Oh, this was live.
Yes, sir, man. We done. We got down another episode of Since We Talking. Always, again, I'm the host, Valden. We have
Andrew Malletboy Robinson. Hit me up on Apple Music, YouTube, Spotify, Amazon, iHeart, wherever you listen to music. Just type in Malletboy Robinson, Malletboy, no space. and then space. Well, there's no space in Malletboy, and then Robertson, ROBERSON, no T.
No T.
Robert, no T, son. Somebody said that to me one day, and I was like, dang, bro, that's crazy. But anyway.
And that's the T.
Yes, sir. That's the T. I got it. Took me a minute. I got it. That's crazy.
All right, think we good?
Yeah, that was live.